we've made great strides, first of all, in the checks and balances that we have in our country. At Homeland Security, we had a chief privacy officer that would tell us whether we're getting close to the line and saying, hey, that's invading too many citizens' privacy. We need to review this again. And so we're doing better in having those kind of checks within our government. But I really have seen it from every standpoint. What we're doing today is accumulating data. And there's a compelling need to, as they said from our mistakes in 9/11, we didn't connect the dots. Well, the dots are information points. Well, you got to have the information points, you got to connect them, and when you do, you're accumulating a lot of information that we have historically considered private for our citizens. And so, we're looking at things like, border electronic searches, where a business traveler comes into our country carrying a laptop, and there may be a suspicion that there's some information in that laptop that might prevent the next terrorist attack. But at the same time, if we get it wrong, you're seizing information that's important for that individual's business, and it's also private information for him. So how do we achieve the needs of law enforcement in protecting our country, but at the same time assuring not just our business people, but foreign business travelers that we're not going to overstep the bounds and to unnecessarily search private information. The problem makes perfect sense. The solutions are a little bit more difficult to obtain. Of course, the law enforcement, puts the pressure point. They have a heavy burden to make sure that our airlines are secure, to make sure we don't allow people in the country that are dangerous to us. And, whenever that's a compelling need, they need data, they need information. And also, they need that information to make sure we're not overly burdening our citizens. Like once we know from information, data, that this person is an innocent traveler that comes across the border all the time, that has a perfect record, well, we wave them through. We facilitate their travel. And so you need information for good people as well as to detect bad people. And so there's the compelling need for it. But where does it cross the line? And what kind of checks and balances and restraints do we need to have on that? And the American public, we don't trust government. We understand they have a need, but at the same time, we don't want them to hold data for long periods of time unnecessarily. And so, this is a complicated area that most citizens don't engage in, but they sort of know when government crosses the line. And I think what our job is to raise the flag, telling the government, you're getting close to that line, let's rethink this. Technology is constantly changing and advancing, and we're not having our laws corrected and changed and adjusted to keep up with technology and the requirements of technology. And that's true whether it's new cell phones, whether it is the internet service providers, that when our law was written 20, 30 years ago, we didn't even have these technological tools. And now we do, and so the law has to constantly be updated. But it's also true in terms of our law enforcement officials. They need guidance. They're providing policy recommendations and guidance for their agents in the field. So if we can help shape that through a real honest evaluation and balancing of our freedoms with the necessity of security and the tools that are needed, then we're really playing a very important role in helping to guide law enforcement and our national security experts in achieving the historic balance that we need between liberty and security.